everybody, welcome along to the final round of VSL F1 Tier 1 Season 10. We are here for the final sprint race of the season. A lot of finals in one sentence, but we head to Sao Paulo, Interlagos, for the Brazilian Grand Prix, now known as the Sao Paulo Grand Prix. My name is Jess Ball, and joining me for one final time this season is Aidan. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing good, thank you. Yeah, looking forward to the final round of the season. It's a bit of a, unfortunately for us, a little bit of an anti-climax of the final round because all of the championships have been sewn up. But yeah, great track to finish off another sprint round, like you mentioned as well. So a lot more racing, which would be great to see as well. And yeah, definitely going to be a really intriguing finale.
Yes, and obviously if you missed last week, we were at Kota. We saw Cam, one of our championship contenders. He crashed out, which meant it was an anticlimax there, but we saw Twisted, who had a very good season, who won the driver's title by quite some margin, actually, with a very, very big gap. Very consistent season. Only a few races where he's made a few mistakes. A lot of races he was very consistent. But last week he was just so dominant and had really good pace that he topped out in style.
Yeah, he really did. He's been incredibly consistent all year. I think he'll be the first to kind of say as well, on raw speed, he's probably not been the fastest. Cam's probably been a bit faster this season in terms of raw pace, but Twister's just been at the top of the field every single week without fail. He's been, when he's not DNF'd, he's either finished pretty much first or second in every race, including the sprint races. So even when he's not winning, he's picking up those consistent points, and that is why he is champion, just through pure consistency. So yeah, brilliant drive from him last time out, as he has done all season, and a fully deserving champion.
Yes, it is. And Twisted, well, 204 points he ended up on. Will he get more tonight? We'll have to wait and see. Cam finishes on 138 points. Yarham in third. Well, he's not here tonight, unfortunately. He couldn't make it, so a chance for Mata to gain some valuable points and maybe get the top three of the championship, which is something he really desperately needed after some races where he was quite poor, but a lot of races he picked up the pieces and capitalised on where people made mistakes. Ewan's not here tonight either. Chance for Casper to climb his way up in the championship. Kieran is in 8th on 83, joint with Waitsy, and GMAT, who's had a good season, started off as a reserve. He's on 77 points at the moment. He sits in 10th. But before we head to the sprint, we've got one shot qualifying to contend with for the final time this season. So we'll go on board with someone. We only got 10 drivers today. And let's go on board with our championship, well, our reigning champion. Right now, you can call him reigning champion because he is a champion. But it is Twisted as he makes his way through the centre S's in towards turn number 2 as well. You can't run too wide there because many a times we see people invalidate. To see Delago coming up next, heading towards turn number 4 as well. You're going to be 5th gear on entry. Oh, Twisted's hit the wall. And he's retired from the session. I think he's going to start at the back of the grid. I wonder if that was on purpose. As Finley, who has scored very, very well on the last couple of races, he's fast at the moment. Now it's GMAT. We'll follow Finley anyway as he heads towards the very twisty section of the circuit, which I actually absolutely like driving, even though I'm not good at it. Sector 3, obviously you can go full pelt coming up here, up the hill, going towards Jung Sao, 4th gear through here as well, and you take as much to the right as you can into the final corner. But Finley up to the line, what can he do? Is it going to be pole or is it going to be not? The answer is it's GMAC on pole, but look at the gap, only 0.2 of a second. 4 people have set representative lap times. Where's Kieran when you need him? He's invalidated as well. So 4 drivers set laps.
Yeah, only 4 drivers in the end with laps on the board, like you're saying. It's GMAC on pole, first pole of the season for GMAC, which is quite nice for him in the final round of the championship. But I think for a lot of drivers as well, if they've made mistakes on their laps, it's not too much of a worry because we do have a bit of a small field tonight and we've got 2 races to make up for it. So yeah, great stuff from the drivers that did set laps though, and congrats to GMAC on his first and only pole of the season.
By 1/10 of a second as well. It's quite close to Finley. I can't wait to see those two fight in the sprint race. Mata in 3rd, Waitsy 4th, Kieran 5th, J-Luke 6th, 7th, Cam 8th, Twisted 9th, and Casper 10th. And basically the invalidations mainly, I think, are due to their numbers as well, I believe. Race numbers is in that order. So there we go. The drivers have a 2-minute break to get themselves settled and acclimatised. But whilst we wait for that 2-minute break as well, a bit of information about the track, where it's been held on the grid for a very long time. Believe it or not, first held in Formula 1 1973, and we remember good old Emerson Fittipaldi, who won that one as well. Enzo Fittipaldi raced in Formula 2, and he actually had a very good race in F2 in Baku as well. So, lot of home favourites here as well. Obviously, Lewis Hamilton is now an honourable Brazilian as well, which is great to see. And obviously, Ayrton Senna has won many home races here as well. Felipe Massa, a home favourite as well, and there's lots of other drivers that the Brazilians learn to grow and love. And we're about to get underway. We thought we would have 2 minutes, but there was one driver that was very, very keen to get started. So I'll go through the track map now. I was going to go through it in a minute. I thought we had time, but 15 corners, 10 to the left, 5 to the right. We have 3 DRS zones here today, and we have a lot of overtaking opportunities to boot as well. But I was not expecting for it to be that soon. But here we go then, Aidan. Medium tyres for the drivers. First time in the world where everyone is on the same strategy. No one has gone for softs though, and that is to be expected.
Yeah, I think it is kind of to be expected. We know that the soft tyres aren't really really a usable tyre, kind of on a lot of circuits, which by the sounds of F123 rumours, that may be changing potentially for the next game. So you may see soft tyres become a bit more common in the next game, which would be nice to see. But yeah, I'm not surprised that everybody's gone for the medium. They are the favoured race tyre around this track. They're a good race tyre, and the softs, well, they probably could last 12 laps by the end of it, because there's so many low speed corners in the middle part of the lap, the long radius corners as well. The front tyres will burn up quite quickly, so I think they'll burn up the softs by the end of the race. So definitely interesting. But I think if we do get any sort of safety car in this race, I'm sure we'll see a couple of people in for that set of soft compound tyres and try something a bit different. But yeah, especially for those at the front of the field, those that qualified in the end, the top 4, they'll want to play it safe. So no surprise that they're on the mediums, and kind of no surprise that everybody else is on the mediums as well.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we have an 11th driver who's just joined the lobby. We've got Ewan that's joined. So we've got Ewan, who was thought he couldn't make it tonight, but he was able to join us. So that is good news. More drivers. At least we had more than last week. Last week we had 9. So we have 11. So I think, to be honest, it's coming to the end of the game cycle. It is to be expected, unfortunately. But at least we have 2 more drivers than last week. Ewan is going to have to start from the back of the grid. But for the second to last time this season, we are going to call the 5 red lights, as we've got one McLaren taking a long time to get to his pit box. That's Casper. There we go. He's there we go. He's weaving his tyres a little bit, so he's getting on to the grid now. The 5 red lights for the second to final time is going off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights. I can't see the 5 red lights, but we are underway here in Interlagos for the sprint race. And it looks like Philly's got a much better start than a GMAT there, but also Waity has got a good start as well. Twisted all the way up into 6th place already. We got to keep an eye on the ones who've been bad there to see how they make their way through the field. There's Tech 1 Racing trying to go down the inside of Twisted through turn 3, heading towards Casino del Lago for the first time. And seems to me no one is having any issues so far. J-Luke in the Ferrari tonight trying to make some ground at the moment, but he's dropped down into 10th. He's running wide there as he tried to get past Casper. But Finley, what a brilliant start. And even though he didn't have to score much tonight, he's leading anyway. He won 1 race in Monaco. What's not stopping him from doing it again in Brazil?
Yeah, definitely the opportunity there. Really good start, like I said, for Finley. Great start as well from our champion-elect in the end, Twisted there. Brilliant launch off the line from him. There's all bit of contact in the background. That's Casper trying to go for the move on Cam down in towards the hairpin, but not quite close enough. He taps the side of the Williams and spins around. No damage on the McLaren, but he has dropped a few places into the back of the field because of that. So a little bit of a late dive there from Casper. Ambitious and not quite able to make the move stick. But yeah, as I was saying, Twisted, our champion, mega start off the line. He is up a couple of places already.
Yes, indeed. We're about to start the second lap then as well. Don't forget, DRS won't be enabled till lap 3 as Kieran trying to go for a lunge in towards turn 2 on Kieran as well, on Matu as well. So those two going at it at the moment. And I almost said Kieran trying to go down the inside of Kieran, but you can tell it's the last race, isn't it, as well? And Kieran, nice attacking from him, and he's in 4th place. But Matu's looking very, very good on the means as well in that Ferrari, of course. looking to secure 3rd place in the standings. And obviously with Yarham not here tonight, he only needs to score, I believe, he only needs to score, I think, 5 or 6 points in order to do so. And if he does well in the sprint, then he could do so in the sprint alone. Don't forget points from, I believe it's 8 all the way down to 1. So top 8 do score points in the sprint in VSL. So basically, if he finishes where he is now, he only needs to score a few points in the main at 50% race as well. Luckily, the championship has already been decided last week. We don't have to do any crazy maths. I feel sorry for the Tier 2 commentator who has to do the crazy maths, because the title could be decided in the sprint race. But you can check that out as well. By the way, it's a 5-way title fight going into tonight for Tier 2. So have both streams on in the background as well. Go and support them all, and we will find out at the end of that stream who will be the Tier 2 champion. Also, the Tier 3 champion will be Tier 2 teams champion will be crowned as well. Tier 3, there's only 2 tiers, but anyway, Finley already pulling a 1.2 second gap on GMAT, and he's broken DRS from GMAT, which is already great to see. I think we can see Twisted not making the ground that he would have liked on Tech 31 Racing, but I have to say, Tech 31 Racing last week, I was going to talk about it in the build-up before the sprint, but the drivers didn't leave us enough time. But Tech 31 Racing definitely improved last week. He wasn't involved in many incidents, he kept it clean for most of it, and it was some good wheel-to-wheel action, and it was his best result of the season. Maybe he's come alive on this game, and maybe he's learned how to race a bit more, which is great, as Jado, through to see Delago, gets past Cam, up into 8th.
Yeah, Cam down tonight there. I think he ran wide actually through the corner as well, maybe struggling a little bit with overheating on those front tyres. It's very common to make that mistake, but J-Luke's basically giving the place right back. He's gone all the way around the outside and down the inside with a lot more straight line speed. He is back through and into 8th, but again, Cam's struggling at the end of this season. He's just not had the pace that he had in the middle part of the round in the past 3 rounds or so. And by the way, this battle at the front of the field, here comes Waitsil on the back of GMAC. Is he going to go for the move the long way around the outside? Yes, he is. He's got just enough ERS to pull that move off, and he is through as Cam, speaking of Cam, makes a mistake through the centre S, and he's spun the car, so he now drops down to the last place in the field. I think his tyres are pretty cooked at the moment, unfortunately. But what I was going to say about the top 3 before Waitsy made that overtake is that Waitsy, GMAC and Finley are all fighting over, and Kieran of course, are all fighting over 8th place in the standings at the moment. Make that 7th, because they should pass Jinx in the standings today. So yeah, they're all kind of line astern in the championship, fighting for the same position. So actually Finley, Waitsy and GMAC, this is all very important points, and for Kieran as well. So out of this lot, it kind of depends on who finishes in front. But Finley here, if he wins this sprint and is able to beat them in the feature, will jump from, I believe, 11th in the standings to potentially up to 7th, maybe even 6th if someone like Casper or Juan has a really poor night and doesn't score any points and Finley scores maximum points. So still great opportunities for someone like Finley a little bit lower down in the standings after a good run of form in recent rounds to jump right back up the standings and comfortably inside the top 10. So these guys are still fighting as there's more overtakes going on. Matt has dropped a couple of places down the straight, both Twisted and Tech 31 making a bit of contact there through turn number 2. They just about get away with it. Twisted runs wide, he drops back behind Matter. Matter's going to try and repass Tech 31 down the back straight. He's going to get the move done down towards turn number 4. He should get that one easily done, and he does. Matter is back through, but again, just like we saw in Circuit of the Americas, Matter's struggling a little bit with straight line speed.
He is as well, and it is a track where turn 1 you really need the straight line speed, turn 3 and 4 you really need the straight line speed as well. I usually run a stable setup here, but sometimes it doesn't work out. But some people like it planted to the corners, but it's not going to be good in a straight line where those are the only place you can overtake. So that is, I think, the fine line in terms of setups. Really go for a setup where you can really pass on the straights and be more comfortable in the corners too. So that's why probably a balanced setup will be the best option as well. But we are starting to see some more moves. There's action going everywhere. I know there's only a few drivers tonight, but that doesn't stop us from giving us some action. Kieran is going to go for Waitsy for second place. He's going to go around the outside in towards turn number 1, and that was absolutely perfect from Kieran. He's up into second place, and is he going to challenge Finley for P1? Well, let's hope he does, to have a great battle for the win of this race as well. Don't forget, he has won a race this season. He was your champion last season. Well, he's not the champion this season. He's already handed over the trophy to the likes of Twisted as well, but he's having the time of his life at the moment. In second place, GMAT, by the way, because of this, is all in that train now, and he might try and capitalise on Waitsy. I have to say Waity's had some bad luck this season, but he's really starting to come off form as of late. Yet in Kota last week, he performed really, really well and got a really good finish as well. And he even said to me he was very, very happy with that. So maybe he's just getting used to the game a bit more as well, and maybe he knows what to do when trouble is alight, or maybe he's just good on pace that he tries to avoid the trouble altogether. Yellow flag, that's J-Luke, has had a spin. Oh, don't beat yourself there, J-Luke, because there's a big sausage curve. Thank goodness he didn't. And that's one annoying thing about Brazil. There's a lot of sausage curves, and there's always been a debate, Aiden, isn't it, about sausage curves? I hate them, and I think they should get rid of personally, but I know there's some people that like them. But me, I absolutely hate them because people can get beached there.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of them myself either. I think that beyond the fact that you can get beached and stuff, they're also, in real life at least, very dangerous. They're not great. They're not great, really, deterrents for going off the circuit, because sometimes you can run over them, but if you hit them at the wrong angle, like we saw, I think it was an Aston Martin GT3 car last year, you hit them at the wrong angle when the car can just launch through the air and completely fly. So, yeah, not great, and I think you can get rid of them, and especially with modern Formula 1, track limits in modern Formula 1 in real life and on games are a lot better than they used to be. They police them a lot more, so we don't need these deterrents to go off the circuit now. We've got the timing loops to do those things for themselves, so we can do it in a much safer manner. So, yeah, it would be nice to see the sausage curbs disappear, especially obviously this is one track that sticks to mind for sausage curbs definitely is Imola. They are very common at Imola, and they're not popular at Imola either. So yeah, wouldn't be surprised if we see them move to Monza, another one as well. The Italians do love a sausage curb, it seems, don't they? So yeah, that seems to be kind of the way of the world. We're going on to lap 8 now, though. Been a fairly calm sprint race so far by VSL standards. Most of the sprint races we've had this season have been a little bit chaotic, but this one's been pretty calm. That's yellow flag is just for J-Luke's car coming out of the pit lane. But one thing to note here, Finley has been leading the majority of the way, but Kieran is coming. Kieran's made his way past GMAC, now past Waitsy, and he's just closing in. He's almost within DRS range now of Finley. So Kieran's coming in the latter stages of this race. He's maybe not pushed as much in the early phases. He's got a little bit more tyre life left in those mediums, and he's slowly but steadily working his way forwards towards Finley. So, well, it looked like Finley may have this one in the bag. Kieran's saying that he wants a piece of this pie, wants to try and win this sprint race.
Well, one good thing about this tier is because obviously we have the drivers and the constructors all wrapped up. This is for fun. You can take risks, I think, but I think certain drivers do not want to be in the wall. They don't want to crash out, and they want to battle as much as they can as well. And a lot of these drivers are very respectful as well. And we know Kieran. I've raced Kieran around Brazil, even though he's lapped me, I think, once or twice around it. But he is quick around it as well, and in other leagues he's got pole a few times as well. So and he's found like 5 temps in a few corners. Oh my goodness, he is starting to find some ground there. He has saved a bit of ERS going through here. So through CNRS, he's going to have DRS. If he's going to use his overtake, he's going to use it now. And Waitsy has spun. Waitsy has spun. Oh. That is in turn 2, I believe. But let's watch Kieran to see if he can get past Finley. Nope, he can't. So Kieran stays in 2nd place, which means Mata is up to 4th place, but he's chased down by Tech 31 Racing as well. And does Waitsy have a front wing? Yes, he does. Still has a front wing. So I think it must have been a spin, but I wonder if he's got rear wing damage because he's gone off the circuit. It's hard to tell if he's lost end play or anything like that, but yeah, he's down in last now.
That is such a shame. That is such a shame for Waitsy. He obviously needed the points in that fight, like we mentioned earlier on. But yeah, that is not going to help at all. And of course, that's going to affect his his starting position for the feature race as well, which is not great for Waitsy. He'll have to start from the back, which is a real shame. Hopefully, he can get in, have a bit of a glory run, put on some softs, and go for fastest lap. If he can get to the pit lane without spinning again, he almost spun there at the next corner, but just about gets away with it. But yeah, here comes Kieran now. DRS is open. He's on the back of Finley. Is he close enough on the run towards turn number 1? Not quite close enough to the Alpine. The DRS, the speed closing in towards turn 1 wasn't that fast, but I think Kieran's got a bit more downforce on this car because he is so fast in the middle part of the lap as he comes up towards the back straight again, coming out of the ZRS is down towards turn number 4. He's going to go the long way round the outside of Finley, and Finley can't do anything about it. Kieran is through, and from, what was that, 5th, maybe 4 laps ago, he's up into the lead of the race. This has been a really good sprint race from Kieran. He struggled so much for pace in the early part of the season, but he's really come on form at the end.
And don't forget, if you finish P1 in the sprint race, you'll be starting pole for the main 50% race coming up, and that'll be the final race of VSL Season 10. And what a place to be for Kieran. But it is not over. Finley is still going to have DRS within the next couple of laps. And he's got more ERS to use than him as well. So I'm excited to see where this fight takes us. It's not going to end here. They still got 2 laps to go after this one as well. GMAC, though, is pretty much in a DRS train. He's the one leading that train. We've got Mato as well. We've got Tech 31 Racing as well. And we've got Dewan as well, who's up to 7th. And Mato's trying to cover off Tech 31 Racing. Tech goes around the outside, in towards turn number 1. And they're trying to keep it very, very clean. Not leaving too much space about them. But Tech 31 Racing up to 4th. Mato, though, is going to have the DRS, though. Go through to Cena and Delago in just a second. To the left-hand side. Can he keep his line and keep 4th place? The answer to that is maybe. Oh, as Tech almost lost 2 places there. Twisted almost got them as well. This is great racing. Dewan is in this as well. So is Casper. They're all fighting for 4th place. They all have similar pace, and this is what I like around here. We can see Dewan trying to go around the outside of Twisted. Twisted covers him off as well. Around the twisty part of the circuit as well. I think it's hard to overtake that, but people are saying, no, you can definitely overtake that, and they're proving us wrong there. My oh my, I'm almost losing my voice here, but this is amazing.
Yeah, it's good racing, really good racing at the moment. Out of the final corner once again, Mata doesn't get a good run. Here comes Tech 31 up the hill. Can he get the run through up towards the start-finish line? Should get a run here quite easily. Mata's going to go to the inside line to try and defend that. Mata's got no ERS to defend. There's a fight for the lead as well. Finley's got back past Kieran for the lead of the race up towards turn number 1 and through the center S. There he goes. But Kieran's got to try and come back at this one. Mata and Tech 31 still side by side. Tech 31's got the outside line. He's got the move done, but he will be under DRS there for Mata behind Kieran. Also down the inside and towards turn number 4. Down towards the Cedar Delago, who gets the move done. Finney's going to try and come back at him on the exit, though, through turn 5 and up towards Ferragura. Can he get the move done? I think Kieran's got enough straight line speed to hold the inside line, but he's going to go the long way around the outside.
Casper's off.
Finley. Yeah, Casper's off the road at Fucci at Cedar Delago. I don't know if there's any damage there. He's off the road. Kieran's back through and into lead, and Mata managed to get back through and into 4th as well. This is great racing on the final lap.
I have to say, there's a fight for the lead, fight for pretty much 4th place as well. There's just so much going on, it's hard to keep up. This is what I like to see in the final round of the season. And people think that having no championship fight is boring. This is definitely not boring. It's absolutely amazing. And Kieran is going to have his night off to a great start, as he's going to be on pole for the sprint, for the main race, and he's going to secure 8 championship points. Finley, well, he's starting near the front, but he's going to qualify in 2nd for the main race. GMAT in 3rd. Mata in 4th by 1/10. Oh my goodness, that was very, very close. Dewan in 6th. Cam in 7th. Twisted in 8th. So I wonder if something happened to Twisted and Casper on the final lap, because Twisted was all in that DRS train earlier. So hopefully we'll feel a bit more in the break. But Kieran gets driver of the day in game, which to be expected. He did qualify 5th or 4th, I believe. So brilliant stuff from him. But those are your points then, and the gap. So top 8 score points, and Kieran getting the maximum as well. And Mata, well, at this rate, he only needs 1. I need to actually check how many points Mata will be. He'll be on 111 points. Ooh, so you'll need pretty much 2 more points in this main 50% race, and he'll go ahead of Johan, and he'll take 3rd place in the championship.
Lovely stuff. It's getting close, isn't it? Right there at the front of the title race for that kind of podium spot in the title. But yeah, brilliant stuff in that race. Great driving there from Kieran as well to come through and win that sprint race in the end. Brilliant driving. So yeah, love to see it. You absolutely love to see kind of racing like that, especially to round off the season. From 5th on the grid to the win of that one for Kieran as well. Brilliant stuff. Lovely to see. And see if he can hold on for a feature race win.
Yes, indeed. The feature race will be coming up very, very soon. So make sure you stay tuned in for that. And usually the main race tends to bring a bit of rain. But we're not going to get any rain at the moment as it stands. But sometimes F1 usually likes to throw a curveball and bring rain at the end of the race. Interesting fact around this track, actually. It's near the Sao Paulo suburb of Interlagos, which literally translates in Portuguese in between the lakes, which is an interesting phrase as well. It was renamed though Autodromo Jose Carlos Pache after someone who died at the circuit he raced the circuit in 1975, won its only Formula 1 race there, and then died in an air crash in 1977 as well. Few changes around it, resurfaced back in 2014, and then due to safety grounds it was removed in the 1970s from 7.96 kilometres to around about the 4 kilometres that we know now as well. And the most successful driver in Interlagos, Michael Schumacher, having won 4 times as well, and Seb Vettel won 3 times. Ayrton Senna's won quite a few as well, and don't forget George Russell won his maiden win last year as well, and that's the win I remember because he's one of my favourite drivers. So some great moments. I wonder we'll see some maiden victories today. We'll have to wait and see. We've had a few race winners already with the likes of Kieran Finlay, and we had Jinx obviously before when he was at VSL, Cam as well, Twisted. I don't think anyone else has won a race in VSL.
No, I don't think they have actually. I'm just double checking. I'm going to have a look on the standings and stuff. But yeah, Jinx obviously one of them. Finley's of course a race winner from round 10, is one of the winners of this season. But yeah, we've kind of been sparse for winners, really, haven't we? The kind of before Jinx left, it was obviously Jinx had won 3 races out of 4 at the start of the season. Then after that, the 2 Williams kind of dominated the proceedings from then on, apart from a win from Kieran in round 7 and a win from Finley in round number 10. So it's been kind of a bit top heavy, unfortunately, the wins this season. But hopefully we could get something a little bit different. Kieran could get his 2nd win on the season, and that would help him jump up the championship as well. Of course, he's just behind Jinx in the standings, not that far behind Jewin either. And if Jewin has another race, unfortunately, like that in the feature race, then every opportunity for Kieran to jump a few spots as well. So yeah, plenty of opportunities for these drivers to still gain some places in this championship.
I can't do the maths as to what points Kieran will be on after the sprint. So he's on 83, I think, at the moment. So plus 8, I think it's around about 90. So yeah, if Ewan doesn't score many points, then he's already going to top Ewan and be in the top 5 in this championship, which I have to say is very good. But for the final time this season, let's look at the tyres, shall we, for the formation laps. So these 2 minutes go by very, very quickly, by the way, as we've got only 4 drivers that opted for the medium compounded tyres. That's Kieran. Well, he's at the front anyway, and usually we see the likes of Jinx and Twisted start on the mediums up front anyway when they started on pole, and they went on to win that race. So I think a very good strategy for him as well. Matter in 4th, he's on mediums. He wants to get past the hard runners quite quickly. Tech 31 Racing, he got disqualified in the formation lap. He's on the mediums, and we've got Ewan on the mediums as well. Everybody else, as well as Finley, GMAC, and from pretty much P7 downwards, they've opted for the hard compounded tyres. Hards could last quite a fortune around here. 27 laps at a maximum as well, but realistically, you want to really go on to, I think, the hard to medium strategy, pit on lap 20. But if you want, you can stretch the hards for most of this race and stretch it out to the softs, just in case there might be rain on the horizon as well. A lot of people being disqualified from the formation lap, which is not great to see as well. But I'm trying to remember what races we've had this season. We've had obviously Britain, that was a good race. Austria as well, Miami, Spain, Hungary, which I don't think was a good race to be honest. Portugal, which was really, really fun to commentate on. And then we had Australia, China, Monza, Monaco, and then Kota, and then obviously Brazil today as well. And the sprint races were Monza, Austria, and Hungary. And I have to say my favourite one was got to be Austria in round number 2. But
yeah.
Final race, who do you think is going to get the win?
Ooh, a difficult one. It's hard to bet against our champion into a Sid, even from 8th on the grid. I think there's definitely every opportunity he could still win this race, but I'm going to go for Kieran. I think Kieran could have this one in the bag. I think he had really good pace there in the sprint. He managed his tyres really well. He's starting on the mediums, and we've seen historically in VSL that starting on the mediums to the front tends to work in your favour. You're able to get the gaps earlier on, and I think compared to the other people starting on the mediums, Kieran has got a pace advantage over the other 3 starting on mediums, which of course are Mata, Tech 31 and Jewin. So I'm going to go for Kieran. I think Kieran can win this race.
Here we go then. So after 11 rounds, it all comes down to this. The final round of VSL Season 10. The championship has been decided, but the final race winner has not been decided. The 5 red lights are on, and for the final time this this season. We go green here at VSL, and once again, Finley's got a very good start and reaction time for Kieran towards turn number 1, trying to get back around the outside, but Finley pretty much is responding to Kieran's challenge right now. They all make their way past the center S, and there's contact in the background as Duran goes off, Cam goes off. Twisted is up into third in this race. He goes down the inside of GMAT, and he's absolutely flying. And Ada's prediction, really, of Twisted doing well in this race is coming true at the moment. But Cam and Duran, not the best of starts. Kieran managing to hold away from Finley, and Twisted, he's on fire. Jeez.
Yeah, he's on fire. All more contact further down the field there. G-Max off the road. I don't know if that was contact with Mata or Waitsy, but G-Max off the road there after Ferradura, unfortunately. So he's dropped down to P8 position, unfortunately, that Mercedes. But yeah, amazing start there from Twisted, considering he's on the hard compound tyres as well. That is a mega start. From 8th on the grid up to 3rd by the end of the first lap. That is a brilliant start for Twisted. He's got to try and catch up to Finney and Kieran now, though. Kieran, again, not a great start on the mediums, but just able to hold on to the lead of the race. And now he's got to try and pull away from Finley and gap this driver, who's obviously on a different and, in theory, a better strategy. So Kieran's got to try and get up the road as quickly as he can. J-Luke is into the pit lane. I'm sure that's going to be for a front wing change for that Ferrari. Unfortunately, his season's been really shocking, sadly, for him in the races that he's taken part in, and it continues to be that way, sadly. Duran and Cam stay out on the track. I don't think they picked up any damage in their respective spins on the first lap, so they aren't too heavily affected, but they are a little bit away off the pack now, unfortunately for them. But top 2 broken away from Twisted, who's currently in 3rd. Mata right behind on the medium compound tyres. It's already kind of splitting into 2 at the front of the field. Kieran and Finley just driving away from the field exactly like they did in the sprint.
Well, to be honest, it's similar position, and it's like in real life, isn't it? Sometimes the sprint kind of predicts what it's going to be like in the main race, but it's at the absolute opposite in terms of positioning at the moment. But I'm sure Finley would know what he needs to do at this point to get the win from Kieran, because he knew what Kieran did in the sprint as well. So maybe a sprint can be a good way in terms of how to improve if you do not potentially get the win. You can find ways of how your rivals are managing to get ahead of you as well. But we'll look at position changes at this moment in time. He's gained the most, by the way. He's up 5 places. We've got another yellow flag, and J-Luke is having an awful time around Brazil. Every time I seem to commentate on him around Brazil, he has a horror show. And maybe that's probably because I'm in the box. It's in Eloise, in 1-up as well, and now this. So yeah, he likes Brazil, but not when I commentate. He does well when I don't commentate and when I'm on the same racetrack as him. But when I commentate, he does horrible. So sorry, J-Luke. I seem to be the curse with you this season in terms of you spinning. But we'll see if he can recover from 11th on the grid. Don't forget, top 12 in VSL, score points in the main 50% race. So hopefully J-Luke does not give up, because there could be safety cars. The chance of a safety car around here is absolutely high, considering the VSL anyway. But we'll have to wait and see. DRS is enabled, remember. Someone has gone for a spin. That, I believe, is Casper. Not good.
Yeah, not great for Casper. He didn't have a great run of it in the sprint, and yeah, not having a good run of it here either. And that corner always tends to spring a bit of a surprise on these drivers. It's very hard on the tyres as this track, and Magulio is kind of a pinch point for these drivers. It's probably one of the highest speed tracks on the circuit, and if you get it wrong and you've got hot tyres, you can spin very easily, and that's exactly what's befalling Casper there, sadly. So he's down into 9th, but his teammate pulling away, got that 2-second gap that is customary of someone starting on the medium compound tyres. They always seem to break a 2-second gap early in the race, and that is exactly what Kieran's done. He's 2 seconds up the road from Finley now. Finley's kind of levelled the gap to Twisted, interestingly. So Twisted isn't closing in on the back of Finley like I thought he would. Finley's doing a good job of kind of maintaining the gap at the moment, as 31 unfortunately has lagged out the session. So hopefully he can get back in and get back in control of that AlphaTauri before he loses too much time. So yeah, good start from Kieran. Finley as well, though, on those hard compound tyres, doing a solid job of keeping Twisted at bay.
Yes, indeed. And we are starting to see, I think, quite a lot of people maybe potentially increasing the gap a little bit, unless if you're Waitsy or Mata, who's in this lovely fight with Twisted at the moment. I think Mata could really gain advantage, but Mata has nothing to lose at this point, because all he's focused on is getting 3rd place in the championship. But he wants 3rd place on the road as well, because that will be a fantastic end to his season. He's got plenty of ERS to use as well, going down the straight, but he's not going to use it unless he feels like he sees fit right now. And I think he's going to be cautioned the next couple of laps. Maybe go for it in the Sierra Lago. I think he's going to go for it here potentially as well. But I think he's realised he's a little bit too further back to get past Twisted at the moment. And to be honest, Matt has been a VSL champion before. Twisted has been a VSL champion. We have 2 champions fighting against each other. And pretty much Twisted showing how it's done at the moment as GMAT goes ahead of Tech's AI car up into 6th place right now. Yellow flag. Oh, Finley's off.
Oh.
Finley's off the road and he's doing about 3 Bottas mowing the lawn as it seems, but he was in 2nd. Now he's not. And we have a familiar face in the top 2 now of Twisted.
That is such a shame for Finley. He was having a really good run of it, had a great run in the sprint race, and yeah, you can see now his tyres covered in grass. They're really hot as well after that spin. He's going to be dropping loads of time. He's got to make sure he doesn't over push on these hot tyres and spin again. He's just got to try and cool it down a little bit, level it out, and then start going again. But yeah, down to 7th. That's his race pretty much run, barring any sort of safety car. Meanwhile, here comes Mata trying to come back at Twisted, but not quite close enough into turn 1. Twisted's not having a good run of it tonight here in Brazil. He doesn't look particularly comfortable in that car, and Mata all over the back of him now on these medium compound tyres. Can he get the run down to the Cedar Largo? I don't think he's quite going to be close enough in a straight line, and we know what Mata's like. He won't take a risk, but he is going to go for the inside line.
Wow.
He's really late on the brakes, gets the move done. Twisted's going to try the switchback on the exit of the corner, but he's going to have to go the long way around Ferradura on harder tyres to pull that off, and I don't think he's going to be able to. Mata able to swing back into the middle of the road, and Mata now up into 2nd place on those medium compound tyres. That is not like Mata. You don't see Mata making those moves that often, do you? He's one that always sits back. He never takes the risk. But yeah, lovely move there from him, and he's up into 2nd place.
Twisted. He's had a bit of a slide there.
Yeah, bit of a slide on the exit of the corner, and here comes Waitsy on the hard compound tyres. Twisted not looking particularly comfortable tonight.
He is not. Well, to be fair, he's got nothing to lose. He's won the championship, and all the races now are for a bit of fun. But surely, knowing Twisted, he will still want the glory. He will still want the race win, and he's definitely not going for the race win at the moment after that slide. And he's got Waitsy catching up to him as well, so it's going to be maybe too close for comfort. And when was the last time I saw Mata in P2? The last time I saw him in P2 was when he was fighting for his last ever title in VSL and going for the lead. But now, this is Season 10. Roll forward to Season 10, and he's potentially could be fighting with Kieran for the win. But Kieran is so quick, then Kieran's race win could be in the bag. But never say never. He can't afford, Kieran, to become complacent. So, to be honest, this looks like it's going to be a very, very good race as well. But Mata is not closing up. But to be honest, if he finishes where he is now, he'll be 3rd anyway in the standings. Again, he has also got nothing to lose. Let's look at Mata's best result. His best result was in the sprint race in round number 5, where he got 26 points. He also got a podium in round number 7 as well. Pretty much, apart from the race where he didn't start, which was round number 2, I can't remember why he didn't start that race. He's pretty much finished every single race in the points. So he's Mr. Consistent, I have to say, picking up the bad pieces, as I was saying at the moment. But again, he's not closing up to Kieran. So let's keep an eye on Waitsy then, on Twisted, as Casper gets the first time penalty of the day. And yellow flag. That's either, I think it was Cam actually, or Casper that had a bit of a spin. It might be Cam actually. Yeah. No, it's Casper. So they're having a bit of a moment, unfortunately. But here comes Waitsy then. He could try and go late on the brakes into turn 4, but he doesn't. He decides to play it safe. But this could be a great fight for P3 now on track.
Yeah, great fight for P3 there, as Cam has unfortunately retired in the pit lane. That is his season over and done with. Not the way he would have wanted to end the season, sadly. But yeah, good fight for potentially here for 3rd now as Waitsy tries to close in. Casper's in as well to retire from the race, and that is actually a safety car. He's not actually retired in the pit lane.
He's retired on track.
Yeah, he's crashed on the way in to the pit lane by the looks of things as Casper. That is interesting. And that has brought out the safety car. And that has royally... Actually, I was going to mess up. That's probably helped Kieran, actually. Well, maybe not helped Kieran because he had a 6.5 second lead, so I don't think it really mattered what happened. But he can come in for a set of hard compound tyres, and that will take him to the end of the race. So strategy-wise, that's helped Kieran out big time. That one has. And it's also helped out Mata. It has not helped out the hard runners at all. So they've either got to stay out, or they've got to pit and then do a double stint on 2 sets of medium compound tyres. But actually, no, of course they can't do that because they use the mediums in the sprint. So they can't pull that strategy off now. So the hard runners are going to have to stay out and hope another safety car comes out later on in the race that they can benefit from.
I have to say, being on the hard tyres now is a good strategy because it can last for a fortune around here. The earliest people would have come in without a safety car was around about lap 10, and that was if they started on soft. So it's a lap earlier than expected, so it can do it. It's going to be a bit of a push, but never say never with these group of drivers as well. And Finley's gone on to a set of mediums. Did Finley start on mediums? I can't remember. I'm not entirely...
No, he started on hards. He started on hards, yeah.
So if I were him, he's probably near the back anyway. Maybe he would go and pit again and maybe go on to another set of hards and then go on the mediums later on until the end. I don't know. Because him going on the mediums now, it's a bit of a gamble of a strategy if I were you. Because the mediums won't get to the end unless he knows something that I don't know about. There could be rain on the horizon. I doubt it because it looks very, very sunny at the moment. But yeah. So Twisted and Waitsy, the only drivers who have stayed out, as well as GMAT, they're going to find it very, very tough to try and hold up other guys, Kieran and Matter. But stranger things have happened. We have seen people on older tyres defend before, but it's never easy. So we'll see what happens. Good news for J-Luke, though. He's still in this race. He can catch up to the back of this train as well. I wonder what J-Luke's going to do. Is he going to come in and potentially pit, or is he going to stay out? I'm not entirely sure, but no matter what he does, he's been thrown a lifeline.
Yeah, he definitely has been thrown a lifeline. And to be fair to Finley as well, I think obviously those hard combat tyres he's on, he'd spun on them. He was probably not going to be able to get those much further and not have a lot of pace in them. So if he can get through some of these hard runners, why not do a double stint on the mediums if he's got another set of mediums available? Why not try it? And even if not, who knows? It's the last race of the season. He's got nothing to lose. He could potentially do 26 laps on this set of medium compound tyres and try and take them to the end. Definitely a bold call, but it could be. An even bolder call is what J-Luke's just gone on to. But yeah, Finley...
J-Luke enters. Yeah. Why?
Yeah, I'm not sure about that. I'm not sure about that call there, J-Luke. But yeah, Finley... He could take them to the end of the race. This track is, in terms of tyre temperature, it's hard on the tyres, but it's not particularly hard on tyre wear. So... he could take those mediums in. They're not going to be particularly fast, but hey, he spun out of contention early on. Why not try something different?
Yeah, he's got nothing to lose down in 8th position as well, and who knows, there could be a point where the safety car comes at the perfect chance for him to go on to a set of the soft compounder tyres as well. So, yeah, I think for any of these drivers, it's not over, unless you're J-Luke, who's got on the wrong tyre. I do believe the rule is, because it's dry, you have to go onto a different tyre compound anyway. So I don't think going on the Inters is the right call, because he could get disqualified if he goes on another tyre potentially as well. I don't know. Or maybe he's just there for a bit of fun at the end of the day as well. Or maybe he just want to use life out of one of his tyres. He's near the back anyway. I have to say that's an interesting call, if I do say myself, but at least he could get on fresh tyres until the end of the Grand Prix. So he comes in. I wonder if it was a mistake from J-Luke as Ewan has left the session. Hopefully he can join back very, very soon. And fair play to J-Luke for not giving up there. But I wonder if he just did it just to make sure he had some life in his tyres, potentially.
I think so. I think he wanted to do less time on that set of hards that he's gone back onto there. That he'll be going to the end of the race, but I think a lap under the safety car wouldn't have made much difference, to be honest. So no. I'm not quite sure by that call. I think the hards would have got to the end of the race fine anyway. But yeah, J-Luke back in for those hard compound tyres, and he should catch the back of the queue now. I think the safety car's been out long enough that it will come in at the end of this lap anyway. So yeah, should be coming back to the back of the queue now, and we can get going again. And now it's all about whether Kieran can get through the rest of these hard runners in front of him pretty quickly and build a gap again. For the rest of this one, and to see what Finley can do on those mediums, whether he's going to sit in the line and hope he can take the mediums to the end, or whether he's going to try and get through this with cars. Oh, Kieran's now left the lobby. Oh, that's a shame. That's a big shame.
Not good. I have him as a friend, but because I'm streaming, I can't add him in. But he's on PS5, so he should be able to get back in anyway.
Yeah. Hopefully he can get back in quickly, because he is odds-on favourite to win this race. But yeah, that would be incredibly unfortunate if he's not able to get back in and not able to...
Safety car's in this lap, oh no!
Yeah, that is unfortunate. That's really unfortunate, but that's up to Twisted to see when he wants to go, and he's probably going to leave it quite late.
He is going to leave it quite late, so we'll keep an eye on him then, as he's the one who's going to be the Bert Mylander in this situation, and we'll see then. I don't think it's going to be the last safety car. We're going to see, if I'm brutally honest. But is he going to leave it as early as possible to give other people a chance to tow? He's going to leave it as early as possible. Okay then, that explains it. And Matt has already passed Kieran because he's under AI. Kieran has just joined as well. And look at Tech 31 Racing. Where did that move come from? He got past 2 cars in one corner. He was very late on the brakes as well. Great move, and there was a lot of space left as well. So I wonder if everyone else was caught napping there through turn 1. So Tech is your net race leader at the moment. Kieran's trying to get past Matter once again, but he's been caught for dust and he's almost being pushed off the track. Finley is down to 9th place, so he's had a horrific show at this moment in time. But Tech 31 Racing, I'm liking these starts from some people. Twisted earlier on lap 1, and Tech 31 Racing on the safety car restart.
Yeah, lovely stuff on the restart there from Tech 31, and that actually puts him in the box seat to potentially win this race now. He's obviously the leader of those that has made a pit stop in this race, so brilliant stuff there from Tech 31, opportunistic. He is up into 4th on the road now. Doesn't need to worry about the top 3, doesn't need to make any risky moves because they have to pit again in this race. So yeah, he can maybe sit in 4th and hold on, but his worry now is that Kieran's back in control of his car, and we know what pace Kieran has, so he's got to be looking behind. Finley recovering back past J. Luke and up into 8th place again. There was a bit of contact there between Kieran and Finley as Twisted has now left the lobby. I'm not sure if there's some sort of server issue or something going on at Codemasters, because this is maybe the 5th driver we've seen leave the lobby tonight, so there might be some sort of server issue tonight. But yeah, Twisted has now left the lobby, and that's going to put Waitsy ahead of the Williams now and into the lead of this race. I think you're potentially muted, Jess.
Oh, again, I swear. It was embarrassing. I did it in PSGO on Monday, and I was on mute for like a minute, and nobody noticed apart from when I saw my light was on red on the mic, and I was like, oh no, I think I wasn't talking, and I had to remember what I was talking about, as Tech 31 has got past the AI of Twisted, so has Matter as well, and so has Kieran as well. So Twisted race got off to a great start, and now he's not. He's near the back, and yeah, not ideal for him, but let's hope he can continue anyway and score some valuable points. But let's watch Tech 31 Racing as he flies through the field. He's the prancing horse at the moment, and you can tell he's got brilliant straight line speed. He's going to try and go around the outside in towards turn number 1 like he did on the last lap, but it's not going to be made easy this time around, as GMAT taking a wonderful line through centre S then as well. But Tech holds the right hand side line, and he's going to take P2 of this race and chase down Waitsy for the overall race lead of this race, as J-Luke has gone for a spin again. Not what he wants to do. Kieran is now back in his fight as well. He might try and go for the move in towards turn number 5. And is he going to do it with ease? Doesn't look like it at the moment. Through towards turn 6 and 7. A twisty part of the circuit. Kieran could go around the outside through here as well. But I think he could do it, but it's going to be very, very hard to do so. He's on the fresher rubber as well, so he should have the advantage, but he doesn't have that much ERS. Going towards the final sector, GMAC has had a massive tank slap, and Kieran's like, thank you very much. That's me up into 3rd place at the moment. So Kieran is back up into a net P2 at the moment, despite his disconnect right now, and Matt is going to try and do the same. There's just so much battling going on. That's why I like Brazil in league racing. It always brings a bit of fun element. It doesn't matter how many drives it is. It's always a bit of fun, as Matter up into 4th place now, and chasing down Kieran for a net 2nd place at the moment. And now we got both the Mercedes fighting for 5th place, as Dewin now gets past.
Yeah, Dewin gets past. Here comes Twisted down the inside of GMAC as well. I don't know if GMAC is struggling on his sides, whether he's got a bit of damage, but Twisted working his way back through. Here comes Finley down the inside of GMAC now as well. Down the inside, can Finley get the move done on those medium compound tyres? Yes, he can. GMAC backs out of it. Finley up into 7th, and now immediately onto Twisted for a run into 6th place, but not quite close enough to make the move. But look at Kieran right on the back of Tech 31 for the net lead of this race. He's trying to recover after that disconnect, and he's doing a brilliant job of it at the moment, is the McLaren. Only 2 tenths behind Finley and GMAC. Oh, Twisted's gone off the road. Twisted has gone off the road at the top of the hill. Didn't see if there was contact, but he's got no front wing, so that must have been maybe a spin, or he's hit the wall somewhere in there, or whether he's hit the back of another car. I don't think he has. I think he's maybe hit the wall at the top of the hill after maybe a slight spin or something, but Twisted with no front wing. Thank God there's no championship fight tonight, as around goes Finley now He's spun on his medium compound tyres. Drivers are really struggling to keep the car on the road tonight. The tyre temperatures are going through the roof and drivers are spinning left, right and centre. And Twisted has gone off again, I think, on those hot tyres. So, yeah, Tech 31 down a place. Kieran's through. Kieran is through into turn 1 and he's back into the net lead.
Kieran now your net race leader at the moment, and Tech struggling a little bit there for grip, but Kieran used a lot of ERS to get past Tech 31 Racing, so I wonder if the more ERS that he's got, Tech 31 Racing, could come into hand later on as Twisted is in into the pit lane, and he's been on those tyres for 15 laps already. He's going to go on the mediums, I think, really early. I think a few laps earlier than expected. Let's see if he can do it. We've seen drivers in other leagues with no assist do it before, so what's not, well, to be honest, anyone could do it. Twisted can, because he is your champion for a reason as well. The gap between Waitsy and Kieran is a second now, and we'll see the gap close down and down and down because the tyres on Waitsy's car will start to degrade just a little bit. We're almost halfway into this race, and Kieran's your net race leader. Tech is a net P2, and Mata is a net P3 as well. Still 2 drivers yet to stop, and that is Waitsy and GMAT. Everyone else has done at least 1 stop and used a different tyre compound as well. And Kieran, I think, has got him within 5 tenths. So surely this lap or next lap, he's going to go for it. But he's not going to make too many risks because he knows he's going to get past him very soon. No, he's not going to take too much risk, to be honest. But I think what Tech's got to do now is watch out for Matt, because Matt has been so quick in this race, made moves left, right and centre, and we know what Matt can do when he tries to go on the attack as well. And he's also a good defender too, as we have a yellow flag. That's Finley once again.
Finley, not having a great race, sadly, after such a strong sprint race and a good qualifying. The race itself is just falling down the drain at the moment, sadly, for the Alpine. It's been a rough race. That is a real shame. He's back down the field. He can continue on and still score some points, but obviously not the result he would have wanted here tonight, down in 8th place. Only a safety car can really save his race. And yeah, it's all about now, Kieran, can he hold off the likes of Tech 31 and Mata? Nobody really that stayed out on those hard compound tyres is going to be a factor in this race now. GMAC has dropped quite a way back. Twisted has spun and got damage, and Waitsy leads this race, but of course when he pits he's going to come out in no man's land, very far behind the field. He will have fresh mediums, he will be faster, but I don't think it'd be that much faster to gain back a pit stop loss. So yeah, Waitsy here kind of in a bit of no man's land with this strategy now, which is a bit of a shame. So the fight now is between Kieran and Tech 31 at the front of this train to win the race, and between Mata and Juan for the final spot on the podium. But Juan in that Mercedes is just starting to lose touch with the top 4.
I have to say, Ewan has improved a lot, I think, since joining he joined a season ago, but he has improved a lot this season already. Even though he's had a few DNFs, he's scored some pretty decent points throughout a lot of his VSL career, and to be honest, he could top it all off with a podium, but he's already falling down the drain at the moment. But we'll see. There's the likes of GMAT still to pit, so anything can happen. So he's got a good gap behind as well, and there's a lot of people that have made more mistakes than him as well, and it's a shame that disconnect for him, because he would have been, I think, a lot higher compared to his rivals. Now the yellow flag, that is J-Luke once again, who is spinning in sector 2. To be honest, a lot of drivers could be called there. I even caught myself there before as well and got into a spin. I take it the same way one lap, and then if I take it the same way the next lap, I end up into a spin. And is it a VSC or a safety car? I think it's a VSC.
VSC.
Okay.
Yeah, only a VSC, but what that does do is that does help Waitsy a little bit. He's going to lose less time pitting under a VSC than he would, of course, under under green flag conditions. Obviously, it's not a full safety car, which is what he would be hoping for, but a VSC is something at least that works in Waitsy's favour. So potentially, if he's got good enough pace on these mediums, and unlike everybody else that's been on the mediums today, can keep the car on the road, he should do a very good job. As Twisted has crashed on circuit, that may potentially bring out a safety car, and it has. Full safety car is out for Twisted's crash. That is played massively now into Waitsy's hands, unless the top 4 pit, and potentially the top 4 here have another gap to pit onto another set of mediums, if they've got another set of mediums left.
Yes, I think if the ones who have another set of mediums, that could be absolutely huge. But if they don't, this has played a lot to the ones who pitted onto the mediums. That was good timing for J-Loop, by the way. But he probably gone into the pit anyway. But it's annoying that they don't have enough mediums for the whole weekend. I wish they could actually choose their tyre allocations. But it would only go balanced, softer and harder, and it should allow you to pick more mediums and hards, really, but we're not the strategist at the end of the day, as Kieran stays out, so he doesn't have any mediums left. Tet doesn't have any mediums left. Neither does Matter or Duran, because if they had mediums left, they would have came in. So that has played massively into Weighty Town. He has not scored a win this season. He has scored wins in other leagues, but not this league. He is the first driver on those medium tyres, but not the one on the fresher rubber. The one on the fresher rubber is GMAT. Actually, they're going to be on the same rubber, actually. So Ratesy, GMAT and JLu will be on fresher rubber. Finley on 10 lap old me, as I'm guessing he's going to go back onto the hard he was on earlier on, I think. If I don't blame him, to be honest. But yeah, JLu, this race is not over. To be honest, JLu is an example why you should continue, because we could get safety cars like that, and we just did. As long as he doesn't spin, JLu, please. Otherwise, I'm gonna like dye my head. Just leave in shame, to be honest. But yeah, so this is going to be an interesting situation, because we've got 4 drivers on the hards, 3 drivers on the mediums, and 1 going back onto an old set of hards. And who's going to have grip? Who's going to have trap position? What will they want? Grip or trap position? I don't know at this stage, because it's only around 5/10 difference between each tyre compound, but it goes up a bit more the longer you've been on. So I don't know at this point of the race. It makes it more exciting.
Yeah, definitely makes it more exciting, kind of this point in the race. And this safety car, like I mentioned earlier on, plays beautifully into Waitsy's hands here on these medium compound tyres. The top 4, interestingly, none of the top 4 decided to pit again. I would have expected someone like Duran to come into the pits. He's not had a great pace tonight. I would have said if he'd had another set of mediums, which I think they may do. I think they do get an extra set of mediums for the sprint kind of format. So I would have come in for another set of medium compound tyres. They decided not to do that. They stayed out on the hards. Waitsy now has a free run at these drivers in front. Of course, there's the GMAC and JLu, but they've not quite had the pace tonight. So Waitsy's got a good opportunity here to try and work his way back through. And could Waitsy be the driver that gets that final win of the season, gets the unexpected win? And for him, of course, in that battle fit in the championship lower down in the standings, of course, between himself, GMAC and Finley, it's currently working out in Waitsy's favour. So this could be a great opportunity for him to gain more places.
I'm not going to say too much more about maiden wins, because every time in Brazil I talk about maiden wins, sometimes someone ends up going into a spin. But I think one of my favourite Brazil wins on this game is someone was a safety. It was weather made by me and the other commentator, so we knew what the weather was going to be, but not quite. We set it to dry to wet. It didn't go wet until I think around about lap 30. There was a safety car just before that. I think 4 or 5 laps before that. It wasn't raining at all, but there was one person that braved it and went on inters, and it paid off because everyone else had to pit, and he won the race just because he held trap position. So trap position could be key. So safety car's in this lap. Here we go. Kieran, he's going to show what he's made of. Hopefully no disconnect for the McLaren driver, because otherwise he's going to be in a lot of trouble. I did say it wasn't going to be the last safety car earlier on. I was right on that regard. So here we go then. Kieran then, I think he's going to leave it a lot earlier than what we saw, I think, Twisted do earlier on. I mean, a lot later, as well. I know Twisted went on the straight. Is Kieran going to go now? Yes, he is going to go now, and let's see what start he's going to go. I have to say, though, Mazda's had a very good restart, heading towards turn number 1, but Tech covers him off a little bit and closes the door. Let's watch the medium runners and see what they can do. Oh, no! Well, that's an example of commentators' curses and why I didn't want to jinx them. And Waitsy is down in last.
Yeah,
great.
That's really unfortunate. We're not great for cursing, are we? We're not a great duo when it comes to that. As here comes J-Luke, by the way, trying to get it moved on GMAC around the outside, and no, they've made contact, and they both go for a spin, and that's all of the medium runners having a spin. Okay, I think we can call that strategy a no-go now. I think that strategy's over and done with.
Unless we get another safety car.
Unless we get another one, yeah, of course. But, I mean, something about the medium compound tyres tonight, nobody can keep the car in a straight line on the medium compound tyres, whether it's spinning on their own or making contact with other drivers, yeah. Waits is spinning completely on his own at turn 2, just too early on the power, spun the car. Yeah, and then contact there. GMAC with ambitious move around the outside, kind of turned into the corner, kind of as if GMAC wasn't there and just kind of drove straight into the side of the Mercedes, and they both spun. They're now down to the back of the field. Kieran's driven away from Tet 31, by the way, on that restart as well. He's used up I say he's used up ERS. Tet 31's actually used up way more ERS than Kieran has, but Kieran's managed to pull away. So Kieran's trying to pull away now at the front of the field, trying to gap the rest of the hard runners behind. And I think now it's all about what Finley can do on his hard compound tyres. Of course, he spun on those earlier on, but they are now 3 laps younger than the drivers in front. So is that going to give him any advantage maybe later on?
I think Finley is liking that the medium runners were absolutely struggling and ended up sending into a spin. And, you know, I think Finley has more than 9 lives in his back pocket. We say that Cat has 9 lives. Finley has more than 9 lives at the moment because he was near the back of the grid earlier with a lot of spins and he's in 5th. So maybe he's getting used to the hard tyres a bit more. Yoham is asking in the chat if he's going to lose 3rd. Well, to be honest, Matt only needs to score, I believe, I think 1 or 2 more points to do so. And Matt is in 3rd. So at the moment, unfortunately, Yoham, yes, you're more than likely going to lose 3rd in the championship, unless Mata has a mare. But I have to say, Mata is doing a very good job so far. I'm a bit worried it may come undone, but it's not, luckily. He's not going to take too many risks. He may be listening to me on stream, potentially. That's probably why. But Mata then, on the back of Tech 31 Racing, he seems to have the better straight line speed through here, through Desir de Largo. Not much space left at all. Oh, my goodness. As he goes down around the outside in towards turn 4. Brilliant stuff for Mata. He now gets 2nd. But it's going to be a long while before he chases up to Kieran, unfortunately. But he's probably glad that he's on those hard compounded tyres because he can absolutely push until the rest of the race and not worry about those mediums, because mediums tends to be the curse at the moment, unfortunately.
Yeah, definitely seems to be the curse, like you say, with the medium compound tyres. Good move there for Mata as well. And then Tet 31 made a mistake slightly out of Desir de Largo, and that allowed Juin through. So Juin's now up into 3rd place and onto the podium. So he's not had a good race pace tonight, his Juin, but he's kept out of trouble. When he's now up into 3rd place on the road, he's doing a good job. So yeah, good stuff there from Juin, capitalising on that mistake. Now it's Finley's turn to see if he can get past Tet 31 as well. He's got a good run, actually, is Finley, down towards turn number 1, but he's in the DRS train. I don't think he's going to get close enough to the back of the AlphaTauri to make a move this time around, so we'll have to wait and see. Yeah, and now it's a new challenger to see who can close in on Kieran, who's 2.2 seconds up the road. Has Mata got any pace to pull it off? As there was a little bit more of a fight a bit further down.
Yeah, it seems to me, I think Finley got a little bit close to Tech 31 Racing there, but I think he was just a little bit further back to do it, unfortunately. But I think they may push towards the end, and we got 12 laps. Oh, no! Mata's out of the race!
Wow.
That's 3rd in the championship gone.
Wow. Wow. That is incredibly bizarre, because we've talked about all season how incredibly consistent and clean Mata has been. He's never put a foot wrong. Yes, he may not have had the pace of some of the drivers around him, but he doesn't put a foot wrong, and he gets away with it. Safety car's out for the 3rd time.
His first DNF.
Yeah, that is unbelievable. Yeah, Mata's had such a clean season, mistake-free. Even when he's not had the pace, he's kept out of trouble and not made mistakes and picked up the points. And in the final time of asking when he needs to do exactly that, for what he's been doing all season at the final round of the season, to get 3rd in the championship, he's thrown it away. That is, wow.
By 1 point.
Yeah, that is very uncharacteristic, massively uncharacteristic. Kieran's in to the pit lane. Juin is in. I'm not surprised they're coming into the pit lane. Yeah, I'm sure it's going to be softs. Surely it's going to be softs now. One thing, though, to keep an eye on now that Mata can't get 3rd, 3rd is still up for grabs here because Juin is not far behind. Juin's only 7 points behind Mata coming into tonight's race, 13 points behind Yoham. So Juin now has a great opportunity of ending. Juin now has a massive opportunity here of finishing 3rd. Casper would have an opportunity. He's unfortunately out of the race, so he can't fight for 3rd. So Juin now that he's in 2nd and everyone's on softs, if Juin can just keep it on the road and finish in 2nd, Juin will take 3rd in the championship. And considering the start of the season Juin had, that's an incredible comeback.
That is, I have to say, quite incredible. So I can't remember when. I need to scroll back on the stream as to where he finished in the sprint. He finished P6, which is 3 points.
3, yeah.
So, yeah, I'm going to have to do some maths here. I can't believe we still have to do maths even after a sprint. So, June will be on 102 points. So, he will need 111 minus 102. He will need 9 points. 9 or 10 points to beat Yarham in the standings. Yeah. And I believe Yarham has had a podium, whereas wait, hold on, I'm trying to think of count back here. Ewan has not got a podium, so yeah, it will have to be 10 points for Ewan. And at the moment he's doing that. He would need to finish. I'm trying to remember the points as well. So he will need to finish 6th. No, yeah, 6th.
Yeah,
so it is looking likely.
I'm just doing the maths in my head as well. It's 11 points. 10 would mean he was level with Yarham.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, 10 would mean he'd be level with Yarham, and Yarham, I think, has one more second place finish to his name. Third place finish to his name, sorry, than Juan does at this point in the championship. So Juan, I think, just needs to finish 5th or higher in this, and he should, I think, potentially should just seal 3rd in the championship. But at the moment, he is currently a net 2nd. So if you can hold on to 2nd, that is comfortably him taking away 3rd in the championship. So big opportunity there for him as well, like I mentioned. Massive opportunity right there. We also got to keep an eye out for Kieran as well. Kieran's going to jump a few places here in the championship. If Kieran wins this race, by the way, Kieran could jump ahead of Matter in the championship. So I've just seen Matter put in a message into our chat talking about P4 in the championship with P3 gone. It might not be P4, unfortunately, for you, Matter, because Juan and Kieran are right on your tail.
Yeah, unfortunately, because obviously Kieran had a very, very good sprint race. Obviously, he won that. So, maximum points you get, if I do the math. So, 25 points for the win, plus 8 for the sprint. You get 33 points, plus 2 for fastest lap in the main race, because you don't get it for the sprint. So, that will be 35 points.
Yeah.
So...
If I'd say right now, it is looking more than likely that Kieran will get full points tonight, by the looks of things. By the way this race has been going,
he'll be on 120.
120. So he'd be what is that? That'd be then. He'd be. I'm just trying to think. Matt would be on 109 after the sprint, so he'll be 11 points clear as it stands if he finishes now. But in fact, that means that.
So it'll be Kieran, Juan, Yarham, Matto, I think.
That sounds like it. Yeah, I think if it finishes.
Safety cars in.
Safety cars in. Go for it. Go for it.
We've been doing a lot of maths here. We have been concentrating on the action, but nothing much has happened. This is a 3rd or 4th safety car. I can't even count at the moment. Kieran needs to have a good restart. This is for 3rd place in the standings. Forget about the championship lead. This is what we want to watch for P3 in the standings. Has Finley and Tet 31 going side by side in towards turn number 2. They're all on the same tyre, so they're all on the same strategy. They're not going to be puncturing, so let's see who's going to do well. To be honest, this is what I should have done yesterday, going on the sauce, but I didn't. J-Luke's up into 4th place, down the inside, into the Sea of the Largo. He is back in this race. Finley trying to come back at him at turn 5, but he couldn't do it. I don't think J-Luke could believe his luck at the moment. He was last earlier on, and now he's up to 4th. Hopefully he could do a lot better on those soft tyres towards the end of the race, but Kieran leads, you're in 2nd, Tet 31 racing 3rd, J-Luke 4th, don't forget he's reserved, Finley 5th, Waity 7th, GMAT 7th, they're all in this train. And to be honest, I have to say, despite with it having less drivers, this is definitely one of the best races of the season.
Yeah, it definitely is. This is a really good race at the end of things here. It's really hotting up at the end of this race right now, and Juan's keeping to the back of Kieran quite nicely here on this safety car restart, but Kieran has got a lot more ERS in his back pocket to use, so I think Kieran's just playing it safe at the moment. Juan's trying to keep in touch with Kieran as much as he possibly can in this fight for 3rd in the standings between the two of them right now, trying so much as they can. But look at this behind. Finley's going to try and come back at J-Luke for P4 here down towards the Sea of the Largo. Has he got the run? J-Luke's going to defend to the inside line, move back to the racing line. Finley's not close enough in the braking zone to make the move, so Finley stays in 5th. For the time being, he's got to think about a move when the DRS comes into play at the start of the next lap of this race. The first time they'll get it is down towards turn 4 on the next lap, so keep an eye out for that one, potentially for Finley to get the move done. Although Finley...
Oh no, wait, see!
Oh, Waitsy's gone off again. Oh, my word. Waitsy, as soon as Waitsy gets in a good position, he seems to spin out of it. Unfortunately, that puts GMAT back ahead and into 6th. And as I was saying about Finley getting the move on and J-Luke, Finley's picked up a few second time penalties, so that move won't count now really anyway.
Oh, no. Hopefully it's not a triple warning, because if it's a triple warning, it could get removed, but I don't think it's looking likely, unfortunately, as well. But we're about to approach 7 laps to go of this season, 7 laps to go of this race. Pretty much anybody, apart from Finley, could win this race, and this is what we want to see. Kieran saying the fastest lap of this race, a 109.729. DRS is activated here at this Grand Prix. It is do or die for these drivers to see who can win it. Here comes Finley on J-Luke then. I don't think he's going to go for it here. A lot of people have saved some ERS in the safety car, but they're going to burn it very, very quickly in these next few laps. So ERS management and time management has got to be absolutely key, because these hards won't, these softs won't last the full distance when you push like this. So you've got to save your tyres as much as you possibly can and only push when deemed necessary. Tech, unfortunately, is out of DRS of Duan, which is not good news for him. Good for Jerry, because Jerry will try to get past as well. But yeah, this is very, very exciting indeed. Kieran is looking like he's going to hold on to the race victory, but never say never to Duan. We could have a maiden victory just like we saw with George Russell last year.
Yeah, we definitely could still see a maiden victory. It's not out of the question. And with the amount of spins we've seen tonight, it's not the question. Here comes Finley for J-Luke for P4 on the road. He's going to go down the inside line. They're side by side on the run towards turn number 1. Finley with the inside line should get the move done, and does. He is through and up into 4th on the road. And I'm sure he's going to have a run straight at Tech 31 to try and get that 3rd place. Potentially, if he can get that penalty removed, there's still a 3rd place opportunity here for Finley. So we'll wait and see. He's right onto the back of the AlphaTauri, but not close enough, not fast enough in a straight line to get anywhere near down towards the Cedar Lago, so he'll stay behind for at least another lap here. Duan, though, is clinging onto the back of Kieran quite nicely. I thought Kieran would be gone up the road right now, but he's not. Duan is clinging onto the back very nicely as it stands, and I think if Duan wants to at least finish 3rd in this championship, he has to now beat Kieran. I think that is the only thing he can do is to beat Kieran in this race to make sure he gets that 3rd in the championship. Kieran would still get 4th, because even with a 2nd place finish in the feature race, he's scored enough points to jump Mata and Yaham in the standings, if that is the case. So Kieran finishing 2nd would still put him 4th in the championship, but winning this race, I think, would put him just ahead of Duan by potentially, I think, 2 points. So it's incredibly close between the two of them, and it's all about Duan now, whether he can pass Kieran or whether he can't. So we'll keep an eye on the battle for that one, of course. But here comes Finley once again on the back of Duan up towards on the back of Tech 31 up towards turn number 1. Tech 31 goes to the inside line, defends the inside. Finley's going to try and go the long way round. Can Tech 31 outbrake him? They're still side by side through the corner. Finley has to back out of the apex of turn number 2, but he'll get the run towards turn number 4 at Cedar Lago. Can he go for the move? He's not quite got the run, I don't think. Actually, no, he's got a really good run down the back straight. He's going to have to go to the inside line, just about finds a gap on the inside, sends it deep on the brake, but Tech 31, great racing around the outside. Tech 31 powers back around the outside and holds the place. Great defending.
I have to say, absolutely brilliant from Tech 31. It's hard to defend around here, and if you can defend around here, then you really are a good racer, I have to say. And to be honest, for most of these drivers, this is their final race on F122, and they're definitely putting us on for a very good show. And to be honest, we're nearly at the end of this race as well, and still 3rd place in the championship is still on the line as we're about to start lap 33. So I'll keep an eye on Duan once again. Has he saved enough on his back pocket? I have to say Kieran has got more of an advantage right now. He's on 75% ERS, whereas Ewan is on 20%. So Kieran could use a lot in his back pocket to defend with, whereas Ewan can't when he's on the attack. So I think Kieran could be on the high at the moment. At this stage, if he was to finish like this, and if Kieran was to get fastest lap, he'll be on maximum points that you can get in a sprint. I don't think anyone has done that so far this season. I think Cam got close, but he didn't get, I don't think he got pole, and I don't think he got fastest lap. So, actually no, he didn't get fastest lap. I think that was the only thing he didn't get. He didn't get fastest lap. So he would have got, I think, the hat trick if it wasn't for someone else getting fastest lap. So Kieran could get the maximum points in a sprint weekend ever in VSL, as Tech is still close once again. We also got J-Luke as well right on the back. This is all heating up, and I can I can almost certainly see at least one person making a mistake here. Waitie's back in this fight. GMAC is back in this fight. We've got 3 laps to go when we cross the line as well. We pretty much got 2 different trains, one for the win and one for P3 on the road, which is going to be very, very exciting. Who's going to come out on top? We'll have to wait and see. Let's go on board with Ewan once again. I doubt he's going to go for it here. He's got to save his ERS to do so, unfortunately. Heading towards T1. No, he's not going to do it. J-Luke, he's going to go down the inside and towards turn number 1. And is he going to make it stick or contact? And Tech has gone into a spin. And he's out.
Yeah, been clipped by GMAC on the way past there. GMAC with nowhere to go has ended up hitting Tet 31, but his season is over and done with at turn number 1. Yeah, a bit of a send there from J-Luke and Tet 31, bit of contact. Nothing they really could do.
No.
No, that's unfortunate, but yeah, Tet 31 out of the race. It's only 6 drivers left. This has been a chaotic feature race, this one has, but yeah, he is out, and now we can fully focus, it seems, on the fight for the win of this race. Waitsy, by the way, is still in the fight for the final spot on the podium, despite spinning, I think, 1,000,000 times in this race. Waitsy's still in the fight for the final spot on the podium, of course. Finley's penalty will drop him back behind J-Luke and Waitsy, so J-Luke and Waitsy are fighting for the final spot on the podium.
Isn't that incredible? They went in a... Wow, it's going to be on the road, it looks like, because Finley is spun as well. And don't forget, J-Luke and Waitsy is spun, and they're still in this race. So I have to say, they made less mistakes than anybody else, more spins than everybody else, and they're still going to get some solid results out of all of this. Don't give up in league racing, and this is the reward. As J-Luke could be on for a podium here, as he tries to go down around the outside of Waitsy, and he does it. Up into 3rd place. And the bad luck is suddenly turning into good luck at the moment. Will it continue towards the end? GMAC's going to try and go for fastest lap and ruin the maximum points club from Kieran, it seems, and I don't blame him. That will be 2 extra championship points as Waitsy tries to come back on J-Luke. Brilliant move into the scene of Largo. J-Luke could try and go for the switch back here up the hill, heading towards turn 5 and 6. Bit of clipping there for the both of them, but no harm done as they head towards turn 6 and 7. We got J-Luke trying to go around the outside, all clipping once again. Again, no harm done. But I have to say, they're taking a lot of risk. Of course they're taking a lot of risk. It's penultimate lap of this race. Finley's also going for fastest lap as J-Luke has made a bit of a mistake heading towards, I think, near the straight. So Waitsy's getting a bit of ground, but maybe they just want a bit of a fight. But let's jump to the final lap and this final battle then between Kieran and Ewan. Can Ewan get his first win in a VSL by getting past Kieran? It's going to be tough, but never say never for the Mercedes driver here today. Well, I think it was meant to be in the AlphaTauri, but the game put him on the Mercedes, unfortunately. But through the center S's for the final time. Ewan has got to use his DRS. I think he's going to derate soon. He's going to be on 0%, so that's why he's not using it that much. There's been pretty much a lot of races in the Brazilian Grand Prix history where it has been won by less than a second. One in 2002 by 0.5 of a second with Michael Schumacher. And I think it was 1994 as well, again by Michael Schumacher. But it's going to be more than 0.5, unfortunately. But I think the closest battle now, J-Luke and Waitsy. But I think Kieran and Ewan will be coming towards the final sector in just a moment. This could be a photo finish between these two as well to see who will get the final spot. As let's watch Kieran then. Kieran has been on a roll today. He got pole as yellow flag. That's Waitsy that's gone for a spin. That's the fight for the podium over for Waitsy. But Kieran won in the sprint. He's going to win the feature race as well, and he's going to get maximum points unless GMAC or Finley get fastest lap. Ewan gets second. J-Luke, he's going to go and cross the line in a 3rd place. Is he going to try and do donuts? He's probably going to try and do that. No, he's not. He's just slowing down. Okay. Waitsy, even after that spin, is going to get 4th. And it's now just a battle for GMAC and Finley for the fastest lap.
Yeah, just a battle between the two of them. We'll see who's on the fastest lap or not. GMAC is 0.6 up on his personal best, but I think Finley's on a really good fastest lap here, so it might take Kieran's full performance away. Yeah, fastest build sector by anybody from Finley there, so Finley's on a flyer. Here comes GMAC to the line. He crosses the line. What's the fastest lap? It's a 1 minute 9.2. That's what Finley's got to try and beat, and I think he should beat that one fair and square to GMAC as he comes up towards the line
108,
now.
I think.
Yeah, 108.8 in the end.
Wow,
there. Lovely
that's
lap
my
at the
qualifying time. My time trial time. That's embarrassing.
But yeah, brilliant end to the race there. That's at least something that Finley can take away from that race, even if he didn't win it and he had a horror show of a race at the end there. He still gets fastest up and some decent points to finish off a season.
What a race! My voice is dead. Brazil will always bring something in VSL, and I think I've missed quite a lot of Brazilian Grand Prix, and this one delivered. And Kieran's got his second win of the season, and his second win of the night as well. Obviously, sprints don't count towards victories, but in regular Grand Prix victory terms, he's done really, really well, and he's going to jump from 8th in the standings all the way up to 3rd.
Wow.
That is crazy from Kieran, and I have to say, he'll take that in a heartbeat.
Yeah, he definitely will. That is brilliant for him, especially for having such a great season last season as well. He started off so rough this season. He had a real rough time of things at the start of the season, but he's improved a lot as the season's gone on. And yeah, his speed today was really unmatched by anybody, even our champion. He couldn't keep up today. So yeah, brilliant stuff from Kieran, and hopefully that will give him some more momentum going forward.
Yep, next season is going to be, I think, epic for Kieran. But we'll go through your results there for one final time. Kieran, Duran, J-Luke, Waity, GMAT, Finley, Tech. Well, Tech is classified in 7th. Your finishers are Matter, Twisted, Cam and Casper. Unfortunately, they have retired. And that is, believe it or not, the final race of Season 10. And Twisted is our champion, Williams our Constructors champions. And we have Cam and Kieran taking the final spots on the podium, as it were.
Yeah. Blimey. This season has flown by, hasn't it? Absolutely flown by. But yeah, brilliant racing at the end there. Great way to cap off the season. And yeah, I'm sure some of these drivers will come away a little bit disappointed. I think Matter, of course, will be one of them. He'll be disappointed he didn't get 3rd in the end. But yeah, brilliant racing at the end of the season and some really great storylines all the way through.
Yes, exactly. What has been your favourite race this season?
Ooh, I think you mentioned it earlier on, but I really enjoyed the Austria round. I think the Austria round was really, really good fun. It was a great sprint race. I think, like you mentioned, it was the best sprint race of the round of the season as well. I really enjoyed Austria. I think Austria for me was probably my favourite round of the season. Yeah, I think I'll have to go for Austria.
I think I have to go for that as well. I think it was quite clean as well. There was so much going on. My voice was dead as well in that one. And yeah, it was a lot of fun. Austria always tends to bring something good as well. I was trying to get some images sorted. That's why we haven't got the cameras on. But there we go. Cameras are on now. So that is all good. But yeah, so we've done pretty much this whole season. We've done 12 races. The first season in 2 or 3 seasons, I've attended every single race. So that is an achievement in itself. And first of all, thank you to everyone that took part this season. Thank you to everybody for watching as well. Again, congratulations to Twisted for being crowned champion as well. And still a lot of action to happen for VSL in the next couple of weeks in terms of giveaways and other competitions as well. But we got a giveaway actually going on for F1 22, which I might enter actually. So if you want to enter, follow us on Twitter and like the tweet as well, so you can join that. But Aidan, any final thoughts or thank yous before we wrap up?
I just thank you to VSL for having me for this season, for the final season of the F1 2022 game. It was great commentating on VSL this season, and yeah, looking forward to F1 23. I think we definitely hit the end of the game cycle kind of a month and a half ago, didn't we? Everybody's kind of started losing a bit of interest, but we're only just over a month away now from the release of the new game. So
I know.
That's come around so quickly, really quickly. But yeah, fingers crossed. When that game comes out, it reinvigorates the league racing community, and hopefully the next game for us is a success.
June 16th, by the way, if you missed the trailer, that's when the game is going to be released. I thought it was going to be the Silverstone weekend, but it's not. It's June 16th, and that's probably the first time where I have to be at work that week, which is annoying because I've already booked the Silverstone week off. But there we go. But yes, thank you to Raiden for joining me in the commentary box this season. It's been a lot of fun, and I think it's one of my best seasons to commentate on, actually, apart from the last few rounds, I have to say. So thank you very much. Obviously, we still got some other leagues to commentate on, so this won't be the last time I commentate with you.
No, of course no. We've got each other for a couple more races.
One more round.
One more round.
2 weeks time.
One more round. Yeah, one more round to go. 2 weeks time, and then That'll be it on this game.
Oh, crazy stuff. But we still got one more stuff to do in a couple of weeks' time for VSL anyway. You're not going to be here, unfortunately, which is a bit of a shame. But we've got someone joining me anyway. Battle of the Leagues happening on the 24th of May. Still, I think one spot available for one league. So if you are interested, go onto the VSL Twitter, join our Discord, and see if your league can get involved. £5 entry if you want to have 2 drivers per league, and £12 entry if for 2 teams as well. And we're raising money for Sue Ryder, which is a very good charity as well. There's the format on the right-hand side of your screen. A lot of leagues have signed up already and donated, and it's great to see how many leagues are taking part as well. And our tier 2 champion will be joining me in the commentary box as well. So yeah, there we go. So that's to wrap up the season there as well. So we're going to end it there. Thank you for watching, and for the final time this season, myself and Aidan, we will leave you with the stream ending screen for one final time. Have a good evening, and we'll see you in just under 2 weeks for the final VSL stream of F1 22. Goodbye.